Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. Top 8 best moments of the 2022 Football World Cup. So make sure to watch the full video. 8. Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. No one gave Saudi Arabia a chance in this game. Argentina is undefeated in the last 36 matches of the tournament and is considered one of the first to win it. As a team, Argentina is arguably the best side of the Lionel Messi era and will back him up with wins in a few weeks. Argentina took the lead thanks to Messi's penalty and was 1-0 against Saudi Arabia at halftime, and everything went as planned. But the Middle East didn't give up, with Argentina scoring twice early in the second half to make it 2-1 in Saudi Arabia. Argentina struggled to deal with Saudi Arabia's top line, which combined with their wayward finishing led to a shocking 2-1 defeat and one of the biggest upsets in the FIFA Cup world of all time in the completely drunk spectacle of Saudi Arabia. Just 3 days after the start of the 2022 World Cup, the race yielded an unfortunate result. 7. Morocco in the semi-finals of the World Cup. 92 years after the first World Cup, an African team will again win the quarter-finals of the World Cup. If that was to change this year, many believed it would be by Senegal. But it was Morocco's Atlas Lions who shattered the glass ceiling. Morocco gave the Spaniards no chance before winning the match on penalties, with Portugal in the quarter-finals. Youssef En-Nesyri gave Morocco the lead before halftime, sparking deafening celebrations from Moroccan fans. The stadium and proving the difference of the day. Morocco performed admirably in the semi-finals but ultimately lost to France. Either way, it was a historic match that no one will ever forget. 6. Kylian Mbappé takes France back to World Cup final. Sounds good. Argentina leads the French team by 2 goals, and it looks like the French team has no way out. Even with 70 minutes on the clock, France hadn't scored. Everyone is ready to crown Argentina champion, except Kylian Mbappé. Kylian Mbappé made it 2-2 with a superb volley in the World Cup final against Argentina. He scored a hat-trick and a penalty in the penalty shootout but still lost. First, with 10 minutes remaining, Mbappé passed the ball past Randal Kolo Muani, earning France a penalty, which Mbappé identified kicked a point short. Then almost at the same time as the kick-off, the France team collected the ball and passed the ball to Mbappé in the Argentine penalty area. Mbappé kicked the ball from a low angle past Martinez and into the Argentina goal, dragging the France side into the net. Final. Go from dead and buried to level in 60 seconds. Mbappé was then forced to bail France out again in extra time. With France leading 3-2, Mbappé scored another penalty 4 minutes from time, starting from the spot to become the first man to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final in 56 years, and he has already played end goals and became the world leader. Cup final scorer history. France may not have won, but Mbappé's performance was legendary. 5. Davies breaks Canada's drought. Full disclosure, as someone who lives in Canada and follows this team closely, that's a biased opinion. But that doesn't mean it doesn't deserve a spot. Canada's entry into the World Cup from obscurity, in a country where football tends to take precedence over ice hockey, surprised many by qualifying for Qatar in 2022. They caught the world's attention against Belgium and gave all but a 1-0 loss to the world's second team. That means Canada is still scoreless at the Men's World Cup after 36 games in 4 games. Davies celebrates Canada's first World Cup goal against Croatia. Carl Recchini, Reuters. Against Croatia, the chances were just as huge, but like against Belgium, the Reds went on the attack. Tajon Buchanan sent the ball into the box and Alphonso Davies caught it to give Canada the lead 1 minute from time, the fastest goal of the 2022 World Cup. It was a jubilant moment of 36 years of preparation, a moment of liberation for a country desperate to assert itself on the world stage. Not that day, the Croatian semi-finalist won 4-1. But Canada has finally achieved their World Cup target and there will be a long-standing moment in Canada ahead of their home World Cup in 2026. 4. Netherlands equalizer late v Argentina. To combat the loss of time, FIFA has authorized referees to add substantial sums at the end of matches. Instead of ending with 3 or 4 extra minutes, the match ended abruptly with between 10 and 13 minutes. In this tournament, we are inevitably going to get dramatic and unbelievable late equalizers, and no moment illustrates this more than the closing seconds of the quarterfinal between the Netherlands and Argentina. After Argentina looked to lead 2-0, the Netherlands was pushed back by Wout Weghorst in the 80th. The 3rd minute, which is not enough if we add a more traditional time. But add 10 minutes and the Dutch have 17 minutes to equalize after their first goal. They earned a free kick from a dangerous position in the final minute of extra time. Toon Koopmeiners headed it straight for Weghorst, whose effort was enough to drive home, prompting cheers for the Netherlands. It was the youngest goal in World Cup history, and although they ended up losing to Argentina on penalties, that moment determined much of World Cup extra time. 3. Ronaldo's 5th straight World Cup goal. It's easy to forget how good Cristiano Ronaldo was, with his final seasons dropping precipitously from his incredible prime. But he was arguably the best man in the game, and at his best Ronaldo was truly an unstoppable force. Portugal hadn't won a World Cup in their day, but they were in 5 of Portugal's World Cup squads, having only played in 3 World Cups before their debut. Cristiano Ronaldo reacts after his penalty kick gave Portugal a 1-0 lead over Ghana. Carl Recchini, Reuters. Ronaldo's 4,444 goals in 2006, 2010, 2014, and 2018 mean he has a chance to make history in Portugal's opener against Ghana. His moment came as Portugal won a 65th-minute penalty, and he fired past Lawrence Adi Ziggy to put Portugal ahead. Ronaldo has never had a decisive World Cup like Messi or Modric, but he is the only man to score in 5 World Cups, a record and a moment that no one can take away from him. 3. Australia defy the odds to reach the round of 16. At this World Cup, the Aussies are only expected to complete a group including France, Denmark, and Tunisia. The Socceroos have barely reached the tournament and, unlike previous tournaments, they lack players at the so-called elite level. Australia took a surprise lead in their opener against France, but it looked like a blow as the 2018 World Cup winners went down 4-1. In a life-and-death match with Tunisia, Mitchell Duke, who plays for Japan's 2nd Division national team, gave Australia a stunning lead which they maintained to help Australia win the World Cup for the first time since the 2010 league title. Australia played Denmark knowing they were likely to be drawn in the round of 16, but Tunisia's win over France meant they had to earn. Fortunately, their moment came on the hour mark, with Matthew Leckie's brilliant run and a solo goal enough to separate the two teams that day and put Austria into the knockout stages for the first time since 2006, triggering the film Earth Follows. 2. Iran does not sing the national anthem. Iran has recently undergone a tumultuous revolution in the name of women's rights and liberation. Hundreds of Iranians have been killed by the Iranian government's attempts to quell the protests, which the government hoped would provide a welcome distraction and sport wash amid all the unrest. Iranians Ali Karimi, Mehrad Mohammadi, and Majid Husseini line up during the national anthem ahead of Monday's game in Qatar. The country's World Cup squad refused to sing the national anthem ahead of Monday's opening game in support of mass protests in the country. But incredibly, the whole Iranian team stood completely still before the game against England, refusing to sing the national anthem. A World Cup focused on human rights and social issues, it was a powerful display of courage and defiance in the face of oppression in their home country. Iran lost 6-2 to England, but their message to the Iranian government could have more influence than the outcome of any football match. 1. Japan win Group E. Who predicted this in the draw? Most people think Japan is the best Asian team in 2022, but many others think they are unlucky to be drawn to Germany, Spain, and Costa Rica. Japan did a good job limiting Germany's goal in the opening game, and with their quick attack, it was the perfect scenario where Japan could quickly break down Doan and Asano to give Japan a lead of 2-1. However, it seemed like it was all for naught as they lost 1-0 to Costa Rica. At halftime against Spain, it looked like Costa Rica's game was costing them dearly. They led 1-0 after a goal from Alvaro Morata, but then, as they did against Germany, Japan changed their style. After the intermission, Don Only quickly leveled the score for Japan. Then Ao Tanaka gave Japan the lead. After that goal, it was a defensive masterclass as Japan not only reached the round of 16 but prevailed in the process. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.